Hello and welcome to the channel. Well, today I'll be looking at these three figures, mainly Kara, Supergirl or Superwoman, if you want to call her that. And I've had her since the film came out, and I've got her at a bargain price. Can't remember really, but I didn't pay full retail price, which at the time would have been around £25. And I've got her also alongside, and you've seen this guy before, my Michael Keaton Batman with that head sculpt that I consider to be the best of the Michael Keaton head sculpts in terms of likeness in the mask. And I said on record I do like the latest releases of this figure from Batman Returns and the original Batman movie, where they do have the likenesses of Michael Keaton in there, but for all-round complete likeness I do consider this head sculpt the best. And if they'd have put that head sculpt on all the other figures they've released, in my opinion it would have been the perfect Batman. But nonetheless, they are all good figures, but this is my favourite one, and that's the reason why. Completely Michael Keaton there as far as I'm concerned. But it's not about him, it's about this figure here, Kara, Supergirl, who was in the Flash movie. And she's very poseable and articulate, and I did review her before on the old camera and on a flight stand, but I had to scrub it because of the quality, so I've got her back here again, and I will show you her on a flight stand before this review is over. And then I've got her alongside, of course, the Flash figure himself, and that's a new pose I've put him in. I've tried to capture the Ezra Miller Flash sort of mannerisms, and that's a very good likeness. I think I've got that look, that kind of running style he has, head tilted to the side. I've put on the energy effects or speed effects, and you can do what you like when it comes to the speed effects, put them where you like, but this is how I've done it. Bit fiddly, but worth it in the end for the overall effect. And together, those three look good. Now I do have the other version of Flash, which is when he goes to the next multiverse and he sees himself. He's in my kitchen on my display unit, and I'll show you him at some point because I have reposed the kitchen. But I'm concentrating on this Supergirl. Now, she's the only Supergirl I have, and the reason for that is because the one I wanted has never been made in the Todd McFarlane's range. But I did hear an announcement through one of the reliable sources that they are going to make that Supergirl, and that Supergirl is Helen Slater, and she appeared back in the 80s. And she's directly tied to the Christopher Reeve Superman, and she is apparently coming out sometime before the license runs out. I can't confirm that, but at the end of the day, if she does come out, I can then put that Helen Slater Supergirl or Superwoman with my Christopher Reeve Superman. So hopefully I'll get that figure. So what I'll do now is I'm going to pause it and put Supergirl on a flight stand. So I've got a book on the flight stand. It's not the DC flight stand that she came with, but I wanted this one because it gives a bit more height overall. And it's a basic pose that I would use with this figure or a Superman figure. But I'm just giving you an idea what it looks like in this mode. And I love that look that she has. I did like her look. It was very nice, simple look but striking at the same time. And that's her on the flight stand. I could do a few more poses and dedicate a segment to her in flying modes, but I'm not going to do that. This is a very quick one in my living room where this figure is displayed, and I'm pleased with that basic look. And I'll just put Batman on the other side from a slight angle. I like that look. He's worth coming in close on just to look at that head sculpt. And that's a nice angle shot of him. And then we come back over to the Flash in that sort of running style mode I've put him in to capture what he does in the film. And when you pull back, that doesn't look bad at all. Even without that other Flash figure that comes with this wave, I do like the three of them together. And let's not forget the artwork. And as I said in the past, I love the artwork on Todd McFarlane's boxes. And that's it there. Just fit it in camera. And I do keep my boxes. So before I end this review, I've just reposed the Justice League section with the Flash there. So I'm going to end that review and this one with a look at that Justice League pose out section, which is in the living room where I'm filming from. So let's go and see that now. So that's the lineup for the Justice League, and you will see it's a little bit of light flare. Unfortunately, I'm shooting in the daytime near the window of my flat, so I apologize for that, but we're going to swing the camera around just so you can see what they all look like. And we'll come in close on Batman first. He's been reposed. Swear on. Ben Affleck, Batman. Over to Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. And I've attached that shield on the back, as you may have noticed from the last review of her. Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Did you hear that little noise? I just tapped one of my figures over. So yeah, that's Jason Momoa, Aquaman. That's that trio there. I'm pulling back just to get the overall effect, which I quite like. And then we come to a reposing of Henry Cavill, Superman, and then down to Cyborg, reposed. Of course, you've just seen Flash, played by Ezra Miller, and Cyborg was played by Ray Fisher, whose name I forgot, and now I'm remembering. So let's go back to that overall look of the reposed Justice League in the living room, and say thanks for watching the channel, and I'll see you again next time.